Hi there, private candidates. I have been meaning to make this video for a long time now. It's been requested 3 or 4 times, and the reason that I haven't made it so far was, I guess, because it's not classically my area of expertise. I was a science teacher. I was very much part of the school system. So I didn't want to give you any advice that was inaccurate or unhelpful, but what I have done, and it's been requested so many times, I've looked at OFQUAL's statement on it. I've asked around a little bit, and I think I've got a relatively good narrative of what's going on and the options available to you. But just bear in mind, through all of this, I would definitely talk to schools and exam centres and other people as well who are more in the know than I am originally. But hopefully I can give you a starting point and an overview of where we're at the moment. Because I think that throughout this whole process, you guys have obviously been sidelined quite a lot. Most of the news and other bits and pieces have been for the classic school system, for people going into school every day. And yeah, I just want to offer you guys a bit of support in the way that I can. If you're a new private candidate finding this video and finding this YouTube channel, hi, I'm Ran. I make weekly content on helping you through the crazy stuff that's going on at the moment in education, but also motivational and work ethic stuff as well, which I hope will help you work from home. So if that sounds interesting, please do hit that subscribe button. And as I say, many people requested this video, but I'm going to call out the most recent one, which was John D'Souza. So thank you very much for requesting that. Here we go. Alright, so you by this point may know a lot of the stuff that I am going to say, but I'm just going to give a summary of what I'm reading from OFQUAL, who are the exam regulators, the guys in charge essentially, so you know that if you're talking to schools and other people, that the information that they're saying is backed up by what is being said by the people in charge. Now, there's been a lot of back and forth about what to do with private candidates, and it seems to have been one of those subjects that has been really difficult to find a good solution to. And in a lot of the consultations that OFQUAL have been releasing, consultations essentially outlines of potential plans where the public can give their opinion, and they did one outlining what they think they should do for private candidates, and OFQUAL were of the mind that exam centres or schools essentially would have the ability to choose whether they think that they can reliably be able to make a prediction for private candidates in the same way that they'd be able to for students at their school. And they offered an alternative resource list. I'll put a link in the description below to that, of things that they may be able to consider as evidence. And to this consultation there was I think quite a lot of backlash against that from private candidate parents and students, saying, okay, so you've given this exam centres and you've given the schools the autonomy to decide whether they're going to give grades, and because of that a lot are not giving the grades. They're saying that we don't have enough evidence from this private candidate, and they're kind of holding up their hands and saying, we don't want to give you a predicted grade. And you can understand why, because OFQUAL have said this statement: heads of centres will need to have the same level of confidence in the centre assessment grade and ranking order position of a private candidate as they have for all other students. Now, from a school's point of view, I just can't imagine very many situations where this would be possible. If you've seen a student, if a teacher has been teaching a student for 2 years and has loads and loads of different grades and assessments that they can directly compare across their class but also across the entire year, and then you've got a private candidate where, you know, the teachers haven't probably met, and there is nothing to compare to others. I'm struggling as a teacher, as a previous teacher, how I would be able to make a decent judgment call to the same level of confidence as someone I was teaching. And even with that alternative evidence list that OFQUAL have stated, I just don't see how you can have that same level of confidence. So if you're a private candidate and have been told by a centre that they're not going to give you a grade this time, then that might be going through their head. So that's the situation we're in. Even with the disagreement from private candidates, parents and private candidates themselves, the OFQUAL have decided that that is going to be the case. Schools and exam centres are going to have the autonomy whether to decide whether they'll give you a predicted grade or not. Or should I say a school assessed grade. OFQUAL have also said that if you're a private candidate attached to a particular exam centre and they refuse to give you a grade or a predicted grade or a school assessed grade or whatever, you are allowed to go to a different exam centre and see if they will be willing to as well. I don't know if any of you have tried that out there. Please do comment below and if there's been any success with that. But as a summary to all that, what I'm hearing is that you guys are left in a difficult position because the system is not catering to you very well at all. And I understand the reasons for that. I understand why OFQUAL have made those decisions, but that doesn't make it any easier for you at all. You are in a really difficult position and you have been sidelined, and it must be really tough and stressful trying to work it out by yourselves as well. So ultimately what it seems like is if you're not able to get a school assessed grade, it looks like you will have a chance in the autumn to take those exams. I totally appreciate that that is going to screw up some of your plans, especially if you're planning on going on to university next year. Or perhaps if you were going to apply to a sixth form college somewhere. I know the autumn exams are going to be too late if you have some kind of progression to an institution in mind. And how universities and institutions are going to react to these autumn exams is still really unclear. As soon as we do know more on this, I will let you know. If you are planning on going to university soon and these altered timelines for your exams are going to potentially make your entrance harder, there is always the option to defer to the year afterwards. Of course, this isn't ideal because if you have plans to go straight in, a whole year to wait is a big one, but taking a gap year might be an option for you, and there are plenty of great and nourishing and life-changing things you can do on a gap year. Hopefully after especially all this corona stuff is done, there'll be more and more things that will open up to you. I'm planning a video actually on how to best spend your gap year and different ideas for what you can do and what I did. So as an overall summary, what I would do as a private candidate is essentially talk to institutions, talk to people and see what they can do for you, because it seems like it's going to be done on a very much case-by-case basis. If you are worried about not having entrance into a university, reach out and speak to someone at that university. If you think that you do have enough evidence to be given a grade and one exam centre isn't going to, speak to another one. Just start speaking to people because you might get through to someone who will help you out. Okay, so guys, I hope this was useful. A bit of a ramble there. Please do let me know your thoughts on this video in the comments below, and any other videos that might be useful for you as a private candidate as well. I'd really like to hear your experiences of how you're finding things at the moment, because that'll give me a better picture as well on future content I can do to help you guys out. And if you've liked this video, please do give it a like and subscribe, and share with any other private candidates that might find it useful. Until next time, see you later.